Welcome to the Bicycle Adventure Club on the AE Housman ride. So we've arrived at Sanders Park in Bromsgrove to start the AE Housman ride that we're doing as part of LGBTQIA+ History Month. Where's the first stop on the Housman tour, Helen?
The Sanders Park toilets.
This is Helen. She knows all about this history stuff, which is important. So what I'm going to let her do is tell you why it's important.
So, well, we're here as part of LGBT History Month to celebrate not just A.E. Housman, who is the most well-known of the Housmans, but also Laurence and Clemence, who are actually more involved in progressive movements and the suffragette movement and the very early LGBT history movement. And we're starting off at Perry Hall, which was the home of the Housmans from 1860.
It's brilliant, isn't she? There's a plaque. Scholar and poet in his boyhood from 1860 to 1873 and again from 78 to 82. First stop. We've also got Sarah and Nigel.
And the interesting thing about here is there's also a mention of Laurence on this other plaque here, on this grey plaque. But of course, who's missing? The woman, Clement.
There is another plaque. His younger brother Laurence, author of Victoria Regina and other plays, was born here, so he gets a mention for his work and stuff. But Helen, tell us about the sister.
Well, Clemence was a writer, and she was also involved in the early arts and craft movement because she was a wood engraver, and then from the wood engravings they made various prints, and her and Laurence also set up something called the Suffragette Atelier, which made suffragette banners. She was actually imprisoned for non-payment of taxes, put in Holloway prison, released due to protest. So really kind of big in the suffragette and progressive movement, but so little of her is known even amongst fellow Bromsgrovians like myself.
Wow. But no more, because as of today, as of this video, you know.
There's a lot of blokes coming. Group of young lads that were very big. I feel a poem coming on.
Oh yeah!
Bit slow up the hills, I'm afraid, but you know.
No, don't worry, sir. It's not a mission. This is Fockbury House. This is where he lived at some point. He also lived on Cockshut Lane. You couldn't write it, could you? Well, he did.
I don't have a very long course, do you?
When they were short of money following Housman's mother's death, they moved here. So shall I do a poem? Man was at Oxford University, fell in love with Moses Jackson, unrequited love it was, because Moses Jackson kind of didn't want to.
He didn't love him back.
No, that's it.
He just didn't love him back,
love him
Helen.
back.
It was sadness.
So there are quite a few poems that allude to unrequited love, and one of these is kind of coded. They wrote it in Latin, but isn't really that coded, because if you can read Latin, you know what he was saying. But this one was published anonymously by his brother Laurence in 1933. So it's: because I liked you better than suits a man to say, it irked you and I promised I'd throw the thought away. Shall I do another one?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't stop. just to make you, I think that was only a little bit of the poem, but it's the most beautiful part because it is one of the most obvious poems where he directly refers to loving a man.
So a lot of Alfred's poems are quite sad, talk about love lost, youth lost, unrequited love and death. But
yes,
maybe not somebody you'd want at every dinner party.
No.
The stars have not dealt me the worst they could do, My pleasures are plenty, my troubles are few. But oh, my two troubles, they reave me of rest. The brains in my head and the heart in my breast.
Oh, it's enough to break your heart, isn't it? It's enough to break your heart. Bumblehole Lane. It's like that childish humour. I quite like it, if I'm honest. Spat at my camera. The birthplace of A.E. Housman, scholar and poet. 24th of March 1859 he was born, so I think it was 1936. 1936 is when he died, so it was a good old age. He was
Sarah trying to do quick maths and she can't, so now she's filling.
yeah, not very good at maths. That's okay. It's okay to not be good at maths, kids. You don't need it in life.
Oh. So this hill here.
Yes, look at the hill. This is important.
So the Alfred would go
That hill.
and run and play up on the top of the hill during his youth. And there were views there to the various hills, so to Shropshire, and of course he wrote Shropshire Lad, the cycle of 63 poems, and also apparently you could see Breedon Hill from there, and one of the poems in A Shropshire Lad is about Breedon Hill. And other ones, actually the start of A Shropshire Lad mentions Clee Hill, so all hills that the locals are familiar with.
All the hills. There are a lot of hills round here, though. I can't see as he was going to escape that much, so
It's the wrong hill. It was
Wrong
the
hill.
by the clock house. But
we'll do it again.
But the high ground a few hundred yards from the clock house, not
Yeah.
this house, was known as the Housman Children
not that hill.
Mount Pisgah. It commands extensive views including Breedon Hill, the Malverns, the Aberley Hills, and to the west the Shropshire Clees, which were to Housman the blue remembered hills behind which the sun set. He romanticised about the land beyond them, and it became the setting for A Shropshire Lad. It also overlooks Bromsgrove, and the spire of St John's is a marker for where Housman enjoyed his early years at Perry Hall and to where he walked daily to school.
How about that? So everything she said was right. It was just the wrong hill. Just imagine though, it's going to be pretty much like that hill.
Because there's so many hills.
So many
here.
hills, but anyway. So anybody watching this going, well, that's not the right hill. We know. If you go on the Housman Trail website, there is a downloadable thing you can print off. Here it is, and you can, in theory, walk this. It's not a long route, but it is very interesting, and all the nice things that you will read on here. But if I'm right in saying as well, Helen, you'll tell me here, there is nothing on there. One, his family, or two, about the fact that he was homosexual.
Nothing, no.
No.
But it was nice that the Bromsgrove Society and the Housman Society have tweeted about this ride, and Pat from the
That was
Bromsgrove
nice
Society
that
came
she
along
turned
today.
up. The Housman Society and the Bromsgrove History Society have seen our little ride and come and given. They're going to put a little bit about it. So at some point, I'll pop some links down in the description below, so you can go and see what they wrote, because I think they're starting to realise and recognise that he was perhaps a fuller character than we've all been led to believe. Good way of putting it, isn't it? Good way of putting it. It's a good voice, that is, though.
The best thing I do is have the inline brake put in. Hey.
So, whilst I was doing the research for today, I found out something very exciting.
Yes.
So, Laurence.
Is he his older or his younger brother?
Younger.
So Laurence is his younger brother. And was Clemence older?
Younger.
So he was the
Alfred
eldest.
of all of the
Right.
7 children.
7?
Wow. That's
Wow.
50% split almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forget this 1 in 10 malarkey. It's 50%.
So,
And proof you can't catch it. Because they all lived in the same house together, which we've just seen, and there was only 3 of them got it.
So Laurence was involved in the peace movement as well as the suffragette movement,
It's turning around, so is he?
and you could say kind of the early type of gay kind of movement, really, from some of the societies he set up. But the exciting thing that I did discover is that there's a bookshop in London called Housman's Books, named after the Housmans, which Laurence actually opened. And what I learned, which is really exciting, is that it also then was one of the only places in the 70s and 80s that sold gay literature. And it's a radical bookshop, still exists, it's still open. It's moved from Shaftesbury Avenue to Caledonian Road, but it's still there. And it was actually where the gay and lesbian switchboard were housed.
Oh, wow.
And somewhere else. Sorry, I'm going to have to edit this really well.
Here are the notes, look.
Yeah,
Look at
various campaigning organisations operated from there, including the Gay Liberation Front, CND and Greenpeace, and as I said, the Gay and Lesbian Switchboard.
Can we see the notes? Look at this. Just so you know, I mean, I'm gonna not lie to you. I do this on an ad hoc basis. I don't make any notes. I make it all up. But this is well, it's impressive. That there, ladies and gentlemen, that's success. That is. What do you think, Nige?
I think it's great.
Are you learning things?
I am. I feel like my IQ's gone up at least half a point.
And it was pretty high to start with, so yeah.
I was nearly 60.
I don't know what it means. It sounds ever so good though, doesn't it? Now it's 60 and a half. We're now leaving the Housman Trail and we're going off amongst the hills to the south because there's a nice... Where's the cafe, Sarah?
Ditchford Bank.
Ditchford Bank, which is a fishery. Is that right? It's a fishing place.
It's a lot nicer than the name suggests.
Well, you'll see when we get there. It's for fishermen, exactly that, isn't it? And cyclists. It's brilliant, real proper calf. So we're going to leave this now, and we're gonna dash off. So thank you very much to Helen for all her wisdom and knowledge, and knowledgey wisdom. It's been good, but we'll come with us on the rest of the ride anyway. It's a ride of celebration. Woohoo!
Stop.
Okay.
This isn't just a random stop, Sarah.
What did he do in this lay-by, or shouldn't I ask?
So, to the right we can see the Malverns behind the tree.
Behind the fog.
And then there underneath the sun is Breeden Hill.
Oh, that's the hill.
Shropshire Lad poem called Breeden Hill, imaginatively.
Imagine, because is it about Breeden Hill?
It is about
And that's Breeden Hill.
That's the famous
That's Breeden Hill.
3, 4, 5, 6, only 7 verses.
We don't need all of it, but yeah.
No, I think we do.
Actually,
Because
you probably do.
for context,
I do for a rest.
if you're going to write a poem about a hill, and I'm sure missing a verse is going to be like catastrophic to the... So
I won't give away the ending.
tell us.
So, in summertime on Breeden, the bells they sound so clear. Round both the shires they ring them in steeples far and near, a happy noise to hear. Here of a Sunday morning, Sunday today,
That's where we are.
my love and I would lie and see the coloured counties and hear the lark so high about us in the sky. The bells would ring to call her in valleys miles away. Come all to church, good people, come and pray. But here my love would stay, and I would turn and answer among the springing time, "O peal upon our wedding, and we will hear the chime and come to church in time." But when the snows at Christmas on Breeden top were strown, my love rose up so early and stole out unbeknown and went to church alone. They tolled the one bell only, groom there was none to see. The mourners followed after, and so to church went she, and would not wait for me. The bells they sound on Breeden, and still the steeples hum. Come all to church, good people, O noisy bells be dumb. I hear you, I will come. So again, a poem from Housman that starts off, you think, oh, this is nice, this is
Lovely.
cheery,
That is love.
springtime love, and
No.
then the end, so often happens with Housman, it's actually about how short life is, about death.
He can't go to church with his love. He can't go to church with his love, and he's got to leave his love in this lie-by looking at that hill. And he ain't happy about it. And you can ring your church bells all you want, but until you can ring them and I can stand under them, it don't matter. Middle of nowhere, but a lovely view. You could tell me the way to the cafe. I'm just looking for a cafe for a bacon sandwich. It's the most untalkative chicken I've ever met. We're all starving now. Brilliant calf.
Where's she gone?
As in and ordered. Oh, killing myself with the broom. No.
You're having me on. Is she serious? Oh no!
I don't even know what to say.
You're having me on.
Yay!
You're having me on.
Apparently they're shut 8 minutes ago.
You could do bacon sandwiches.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't let you do that.
No. They're going to do bacon sandwiches for us. Thank you so much.
Bacon sandwich or bacon egg sandwich, whatever you've got.
What's that ETA of...
I'm going to do another poem. What's it called?
So this poem is called The Colour of His Hair.
The colour of his hair.
So it's a poem about the arrest and imprisonment of Oscar Wilde. So it's about the colour of his hair, which we know is not really about the colour of his hair. Oh, who is that young sinner with the handcuffs on his wrists? And what has he been after, that they groan and shake their fists? And wherefore is he wearing such a conscience-stricken air? Oh, they're taking him to prison for the colour of his hair. 'Tis a shame to human nature such a hair of head as his. In the good old time 'twas hanging for the colour that it is, though hanging isn't bad enough and flaying would be fair for the nameless and abominable colour of his hair.
I think he was quite angry.
This is what I've just cycled here for.
Look at-
Housman, don't even know who he is.
But
this,
look at it.
This is what I've cycled
Look
here
at
for.
it. 8 minutes late and they've whipped them up for us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank you.
I've heard that this is where Housman used to come and get his bacon and egg sandwiches.
And the prices haven't
You
changed.
would. So I'm going to let Sarah here tell you all about Helen, who's done this ride today, because she's a bit of a local superhero. She's very modest, so we're
Yes.
doing it while she's not here.
So basically, in her spare time, she's a superhero. In her normal time, she works for a union, so she's already a superhero. Support their strikes, by the way, CSP union, support their strikes. So in her spare time, she's a superhero. She's the former world champion quadrathlete,
Yeah.
which if you don't know what that is, it's triathlon plus kayaking. She's the current British 10k stand-up paddleboard
Bonkers.
champion.
In her spare time.
In her spare time, you know, she works as well. In 2019, she stood as a Labour Party candidate in the general election in a super safe Tory seat. So she didn't win. She knew she wasn't going to win, and yet she still stood and campaigned in mid Worcestershire. And basically, she's a superhero, and now she's coming to have to.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. She's coming. Shush.
Hi, Helen.
What a glorious, glorious day. Started off being about -1 this morning, but it's dry and the sun has just been amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Back at Sanders Park, so 28 mile. Lovely day, lovely ride. Oh, Nige, thanks for coming. Nige is leaving us. Say goodbye, Nigel.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
So there we are. We're at the end of our ride for A.E. Housman. It wasn't just a ride for our Alf, was it?
It was also a ride for Clemence,
Yes.
his younger sister, and Laurence.
And Laurence's younger brother.
who were also gay, also writers, and much more open about their sexuality and part of their.
Activists.
Well, Laurence, yes, he spoke at lots of suffragette rallies, including in Bromsgrove,
Did
where we
he?
are now, which was reported on in the Bromsgrove Messenger.
Laurence did?
Yeah, and at Hereford,
Wow.
in Hereford. Yeah, he was a real advocate for women's suffrage and supported the movement.
That's amazing.
And interesting thing is, the plinth to Millicent Fawcett that's now recently put out in Parliament Square,
Yeah.
there's names of suffragettes engraved in it, and Laurence Housman has his name
Oh,
engraved in it.
wow.
And I don't think that Clemence does, which is strange, but he does.
Interesting.
He joined the organisation called the Order of Charonia, a secret society worked to gain homosexuals social recognition. And then he founded the British Society for the Study of Sex Psychology,
Wow.
aimed to advance sex reform and for a more open society and breaking down prejudices. So those are the names of the
Amazing.
organisations.
And that's a bloke doing that.
And that's a man doing that in the 1800s. There you go. It wasn't just an industrial revolution going on. So thanks, guys. Thank you. What a brilliant day. What a brilliant ride. Thank you so much for coming with us. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and the notification bell, and that will notify you every time we put a video up. Please subscribe as well if you haven't. Really helps the channel, really helps us out. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you for coming with us. We hope you've learned something. Any questions, as always, pop them in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Here's the book. This is the book. A Shropshire Lad. Is it just pictures of hills?
It's pictures of Shropshire.
Oh look, beautiful. Yeah.
This is a Shropshire Lad.
Is it the
Shropshire
63?
Lad
Yeah.
is 63 poems.
Okay.
So it's all pictures
That's
of
it. There you go.
idyllic Shropshire.
Born in 1859 in the village of Fockbury in Worcestershire. Alfred Edward Housman was the eldest of 7 children, educated at Bromsgrove School, and later read classics at Oxford, which is where he met Moses Jackson, who was his love. He loved him, but he didn't love him back. It was tragic, really, and hence the poems and all the. And there's Ludlow. That's the Clear. I used to live up there.
From Clee to heaven, the beacon burns.
There you are, that's the Clee Hill there. I used to live in Doddington, which is just around that lump there. But yeah, from Clee to heaven, the beacon burns. There you go.
Pathetic.
Thank you, Helen. You're a good egg. Have some stickers. Have some stickers.
Oh yes! Oh, this has made my day.
There you go.
also
Special
a
stickers.
superhero.
She's a superhero, but we don't like to talk about
Not like
it.
the-
We don't. Shh.
Iron Man.
Just
Marvel.
don't talk about it. Just about it.